Hello, this is the video review of the Sony Ericsson z500a from Singular. It is a very unique and cool phone that I used to enjoy when I was younger because my mother had this and my grandma did then. One thing in particular about this is that it was released before the Singular and AT&T wireless merger, and it did include many of the original things on it, and I do really enjoy this phone. It does hold a very special place of my younger childhood. And as you do notice, it is in the silver gray color. I think it's very nice, and it hasn't been scratched up that much over the years, which is a benefit. And the back piece does include the Sony Ericsson logo. And when you open the back piece, you do get access to the battery and the SIM card. The SIM card slot, you would just push this up and retract it once you get it back. Let me just put this back on here. And one thing, you can also to get faceplates from these, if you can get them on eBay nowadays, but back then you would go to your Singular store and get them. So it does come off, and you can put different ones on. So that's very cool. And it does include a VGA camera, which does take front shots. So I can show you one of those once I get this on. But as you do notice, when you open the phone, your time is displayed at the bottom, the battery status, signal strength, and date. Also, the calls menu just features your calls, I guess, such as all, answered, dialed, and missed. And it does include 4 themes that are basic to it, such as Singularic, which is what you'll usually get if you get this phone new. If you do buy one that has been factory reset, you will not get original content from the phone. Singularic is very basic white, and you notice how some of the Singular logos are showing right there. And it does feature the Singular logo on the front, and the menu just has a basic white with Singular logos in the back too. And it is very nice and has this little touch of orange, and settings does include different styles. So that's pretty much that. And then the second theme, which I would like to show you, is called Flume, which I believe is a flowery type theme. I don't like this one that much. I just don't like color pink. It does include this is the only thing I probably like about it, is the pink dots that are visible from the front screen. And it has this flower that moves around. And it's just pink and orange, and it does have some shading at the top. And does include a orangish pink settings menu. Media player doesn't really change. It still features the same settings as the other things do. And the next theme is Floroflow, which is a blue theme that I have enjoyed. You will get it with your reset version of the Sony Ericsson. This theme just includes a basic blue and outside. When you open it, you do get a nice blue theme. It's mainly just nice and blue, different certain shades. And it does include a stylish menu and does have a white and black overlook. And settings, nothing much changes. Also, and that's this 4th theme. And the last one, which is my favorite, is called Spindler. And it is what basically has been being used this whole time, which is that nice green theme that you do get. And this is what Spindler looks like. On the outside, it has this nice green overlook, and I think it really does match the orange keyboard along with Singularic. Also, just this spinning gray thing. I don't know what that is. Whatever you like. Also, it's pretty much just it for themes. Also, messaging on here is quite awesome. Except for the part from being very old. Texting on here is very nice. And it's nice and spacey, so they're just really nice. So the keyboard is just flawless for texting. And it does have a nice raised kind of look, as this is. So you can write texts very nicely. And I didn't spell that right. But anyways, it does also include email, which I think is quite funny because you actually have to use dial-up. I guess that's kind of an older thing now. My mom did use dial-up with this. I don't know how much Singular's rates were for that, but I mean, I guess that was a good enough price for a lot of people. And it does include a nice talking reception, which still to this day in 2016 really does work nicely. I know AT&T is decommissioning GSM, so if you do plan on buying this phone, expect that you're going to have to get one within the next year or so. And also, I just remembered that you can just have your status shown to you, and it works like that pretty much. So, also, it does include a 1 to 2 games. The game that you will usually get with your Sony Ericsson, if it's not reset, is called Block Breaker, it's Block Breaker Demo. So, you'll get that along with your phone, which is just a basic block game using Java. As you can see. I mean, there's not much. I like this game. It actually provides entertainment, and the demo doesn't time you, so you can keep playing, but it will save some of your progress. So, I mean, it's very cool to have as a nice little addition to your phone. So, I mean, it's really cool. Also, one thing that you could get if you're lucky enough to find, is a USB cable, which I sort of found out most recently. Oh, and you can record sounds. You can record inside calls, and you can record sounds for ringtones and record voices for ringtones. It doesn't really matter, whatever you want to record. It does include AIM. I don't know that service works anymore. Just basic messaging. You can shop multimedia via there. The file manager does include basic pictures, such as SingDrop, SingRoto, Hypno Rings, and more. You won't get this necessarily if you have a Sony Ericsson Z500 that's reset, and especially the clouds will be most prominent on that. Also, one thing that I really do enjoy about this is that there is a ringtone recorder, music DJ, so it does give you the ability to make your own ringtones. You can insert the pre-put in settings for that. So let's say I wanted to make a salsa ringtone. I could choose it for all basses and such. So it's very cool. You can mix things up, and it does provide you hours of endless entertainment, as it did for me. So that's pretty much basically it. And none of the MediaNet stuff, as I said, doesn't work, which is unfortunate, because if they still did that and have that, I'd be one to use it a lot, even though I probably would get a lot of charging for that. So this has been an overall review of the Sony Ericsson Z500a, but one thing I would like to show is this funky charger. Now, this charger is very unique, and it does only use that charger, and none of this right here is for the charger. It's actually for the headset, if you were to get that. This port right here is the charger port. This is the charger. As you notice, it does have these little grasping pins that you do push into the phone. These are two little connectors right there. And to charge it, you would push these in, and then your phone would start charging, but mine is not plugged into the wall right now. And to unplug it, you would just hold it and lift it up, and it would come out very nicely. And the internet button access right here, and then the power button, and just a basic keyboard. Oh, and the menu functions for this are pretty nice. They're not like Ascend and much like the Verizon phones that were available at the time. I would say it's pretty unique, and if you're looking for a great phone that can test the taste of time and can really work for you today, I'd recommend this. It is a great phone for starting now. But, I mean, it just is not words to describe it. It's really a good phone. Also, the one thing that is sort of just funky is that water damage has actually been on this phone, and when I got it, it had a few problems for my mom. It just didn't work really nicely, but it ended up just working because it stopped working when she had it. And if I could show you in the darkness, it does have some little specks from the water that once inhabited it. So, I mean, it really can survive. And I remember, it's just a great phone. But one thing that also is bad about it is that just the overall issues just with the dying network is probably the issues with it. It's all around a good phone. So this has been the review of the Sony Ericsson Z500a. Thanks for watching.